Okay, I'm going to show you how to do Chapter 7 closure problem. Number 1 says find an exponential function in y equals ab to the x form that satisfy each of the following sets of conditions. Has a y-intercept of 2 and a multiplier of 0.8. When I do these, I think about a table. If I was going to make a table here, I would go 0, 2, and to find the next one, I would multiply by 0.8. And I get 1.6. And I realize I already have the information that I need to write the equation because the y-intercept is 2, the starting value is 2, and the multiplier is 0.8, and then I write to the x power. For part B, I'm going to do the same thing, make a table. 0 is 3.5, 2 is 31.5, so I'm going to put a 1 in here, and then 2 is 31.5. So what I need to do is, I know my starting value is 3.5. I need to find what I'm multiplying by. So if you think of this like I'm going to multiply, whatever I multiply, we call that b. So I'm going to multiply by b, then I'm going to multiply by b again, and I'm going to get 31.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out, just like I always do, I'm going to take the bottom number, 31.5, and divide it by 3.5. So my total multiplication is 9. My total multiplication is 9. But I have to do something twice to get 9. So really this is like b times b has to equal 9. Or you could say b squared is 9. And if you take the square root of 9, you get 3. So that means my multiplier is 3. And then I write to the x power. So this is the answer. And this is the answer for A. If you want to put the 0.8 in parentheses on A, it might make sense because you have a lot of little points. This is a multiplication and this is a decimal. Alright, for letter C, passes through the point 120. I'm going to make my table over here. I'm going to put a 0 in because I need to figure out what my starting value is. And 1 is 20. I don't know 2 or 3, but 4 is 1280. So I'm going to take the bottom and divide by the top. 1280 divided by 20, I get 64. So my total multiplication is 64. I'm going to count how many times I have to multiply. This would be b times b times b again. So I multiply b times b times b, which is b cubed, has to give me 64. So if I want to know what b is, I'm going to take the cube root of both sides. The cube root cancels out the cube. And in your calculator, you push math, go down to number 4. That's the cube root. 64 is 4. So b is 4. That means I'm multiplying by 4. So I could fill in all these spaces. So 20 times 4 is 80. Then multiply by 4 again, 320. Multiply by 4 again, 1280. Okay, so I have that. Now I need to go backwards so I can figure out my 0 term. So I'm going to, instead of multiplying by 4, I'm going to divide by 4 so that I can figure out that 0 is 5. So y equals my starting value, 5, my multiplier, 4, to the x power. And that's it for number 1.